So I made a video yesterday about bulking and cutting. This video is the one that I'm talking about, the one where I'm pretty fluffy in the beginning and then relatively lean right here. This is a difference of about 5-ish years. The reason I'm bringing this up is I uploaded this on my YouTube channel as well, and it received 2 comments basically disagreeing with what I was saying, the premise of the video, which was you don't need to gain an obnoxious amount of fat to bulk and you can remain relatively lean while you do it. One of the comments was just nope, and then the second one was something along the lines of like, well, the first is obviously a bulk and the second one's a cut, and you know what I mean? Now, I am not a dietitian, I'm not a kinesiologist, I'm not whatever ologist you want to use. I'm not, you know what I mean, like a published author on these subjects or whatever. I'm just a guy who's been going to the gym for a pretty long length of time, a little over 10 years. I've been really fat, I've been really skinny, I've gained muscle, I've lost muscle. I have a good grip, I think, about what's going on when it comes to bulks and cuts. I'm not saying that you're not gonna gain body fat when you bulk. Obviously you're gonna be in a surplus. All the calories you ingest aren't just gonna go straight to feeding your muscles. You're gonna inevitably gain some form of body fat. What I was trying to say though is that you don't need to be in this massive surplus that leaves you looking like the Michelin man, you know what I mean? Just a large amount of fat to see progress, whether that's muscular or just strength in general. That's the line of thought that I think was being pushed, you know, in the early 2010s to the mid 2010s of, I mean, I think even until the last like 3 or 4 years, which is you need to dirty bulk. You need to eat a whole bunch of food. The more protein, the better. Eat until you're about to throw up. I don't agree with this at all, you know, anymore. And I'm not just, don't just take my word for it. All right, I'm gonna bring up 2 studies, you know, relatively recent, that measured, you know, groups of individuals in a maintenance level amount of calories, a 5% surplus, 10% and a 15%, I think. And let me show you. So this is the first study that I'm gonna talk about. Yet again, just talking about the, you know, how big of a surplus you need to be in to see results. Now, in that study, this is one of the conclusions that they came to, which was that the larger the surplus, the primary result, as opposed to muscle gain or strength, was fat gain. This is yet again reiterating what I just said and what they came to the conclusion of in the study. This is a little bit of an older study, 2019 as opposed to 2023. This is what it's titled. And in this one, the big thing that I want to bring up with this is that they're advising roughly 1,500 to 2,000 kJ a day, which if I'm not mistaken is like 300 to 450 calories of a surplus, which is fine. You know, I'm not opposed to surpluses at all. Like you definitely need to be in one, in my opinion, at least a moderate surplus. What I'm saying is you do not need to be in a 1,500 to 2,000 like total calorie surplus a day. I say all this just to reiterate what I was initially trying to say, which is you do not need to be in a gigantic surplus and get really fat, for a lack of a better term, put on a bunch of body fat in order to gain muscle or gain strength. You can still bulk while remaining relatively lean. Will you have veins on your veins and muscles coming out of your eyeballs? No, but you will still make a good amount, a significant amount of progress, hypertrophy-wise, strength-wise, in a low to moderate surplus as opposed to a very large one. That's all I'm saying. End of the day, do whatever you want to do. If you want to eat a ridiculous, you know, amount of calories, a large amount of calories, you want to gain a bunch of body fat, like do so. Right, it's not great for me or my job to do so. That's why I'm really glad that I found what I do now, which is, you know, roughly a 300 to 400 calorie surplus, and then I feel it out from there. If I see myself getting too much body fat, I'll go on a little bit of a cut and then rebalance myself after that. But do what you want to do, I guess. But if you're gonna disagree with me, it's because you want to do that, not because the information that I'm saying is wrong, I guess. But have a good one.